Well, hello everybody. I got my naproxen. Up to 1,600 milligrams and running through my system right now over the last 3 hours. And of course, 1,000 grams of blueberries in me. Two sittings, one this morning and now this afternoon. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. But I want to do this live. Danielle Smith did a press release yesterday along with Trump and Carney. She gets in there and says she'll hold an Alberta referendum on succession from Canada next year if everybody signs the signature drive, and she's going with that. Now everybody, contrary to popular belief and what the bullshit artist media is telling you, the California Constitution does not say what Danielle Smith and others and the media are toting to all Albertans. Now, to ask this question, now I've tagged Jonathan Bahai in this, Benjamin Ebley, Peter Downing, who are on a different path. They're on 51st state path. And of course, I'm on Canada, the 51st state path. But I will propose this with Jonathan Bahai. We should do another space this Sunday to address this. I will bring Marcus Ruiz-Evans. I know him extremely well. Contrary to popular belief, I'm invited every year to California, to that space, for CALEXIT, that far is older and much more involved, just because California is huge, than absolutely Wexit, okay? And that's California Exit. You want to talk about masters of California's Constitution. These are California separatists. Now, they're the opposite spectrum of Alberta secessionists. They are on the left side of the fence here. This is far Democrat separatists, much larger scale than Alberta. They're on a level equatable to Quebec, but again, just because California is such a huge state. But that is the separatist movement. Like I said, I know Marcus very well, and I would be willing to bring him into a space this Sunday. You know, I'll talk to him if Jonathan wants to do it, which means we gotta reach out to the Alberta Independence Party, the Republican Party, and bring those folks together in the city. I'm sure Peter Downing, Benjamin Ebley would be down for this too. Have a real space. I know they did it last week. I heard it was a little bit off the charts, so if we limit it to these speakers, and of course Marcus will be there. I want Albertans to know, so California codifies any referendum you want. They codify that in their state constitution. This does not exist in Alberta. It's an act of your provincial crown that has many, many rules that do not match the California system at all. None. For one, you need 2.5 times more Albertans to sign on to this referendum proposal than the state of California requires. It's very easy to do. More, as I've been trying to teach everybody, and why this video is very important, USA is entirely a district system. Federally, at many levels of the federal, and statewide at many levels of the state. Now, this state power, sovereignty is of the state, not the federal government of the United States. So that state gives this process, lots do, but at a much, much lower and more reasonable signature drive, as well as their state districts. It does not matter, folks. It does not matter in any way, shape, or form where you gather your signatures. You can get them all from one district. One district. And just so everybody knows, in the state level, there are more than 50 districts. More than 50. So you can get them all from Los Angeles or San Francisco, where you'll find that Marcus Ruiz-Evans has all of his consolidation. Okay? Now, getting a referendum in California is much, much easier, way less signature drives, and there's no rules on having to have all the districts covered. Now let's look at Alberta, where there is no district system. It's all rulers who drew Alberta up with rulers, right? That's exactly what happened. No different than Canada. All provinces are the exact same way. At that provincial level, trying to mimic United States, it's not true. So not only do you need 2.5 times more signatures, and I'm going to get to the cost of this in a minute, but you also have to have all 87 constituencies covered. Absolutely. This makes it extremely hard. Alberta is massive, with such a spread out population. This requires massive volunteers. Now, California already measures that they've done tons of referendums. Tons of referendums, Canadians, Albertans. Tons with the citizen initiative. That again is 2.5 times less signatures and way less volunteers, even paid volunteers. They've been doing it for many decades. It costs them on a guarantee that if somebody who has enough money and is willing to put forward the equivalent of $3 million Canadian, there are organizations, civil societies in California that will guarantee you 100% they will complete your referendum on time. And when I tell you 2.5 times more signatures, that's also in the same amount of time as California. Yes, Daniel Smith gives you 120 days, but at massive more per person per capita signatures, making it cost to guarantee it. A Californian will tell you, and we will have Marcus Ruiz-Evans, who knows this really well, a real separatist from the United States in one of the almost, actually I think it is the biggest state in the United States population-wise. You will hear from him. So I will talk to him. I will bring him forward on the Twitter realm. If folks want to see that, we'll talk to the leader of the Independence Party and the Republican Party if they want to do that, and we'll answer all questions. But realistically, Californians will tell you, Canadians that would wish to get this signature drive done officially and successfully would require $11 million in that 120 days. Meaning you put up $11 million and they'll guarantee you that they'll complete that for you and teach you how to do it, run through it with you. $11 million Canadian. That's what Daniel Smith has crafted, and you will hear from Americans. They will explain it to you. I could bring high academics who do this all over the States. They're called lobbyists, and they do it all the time in many, many different states. They work on what's called Section 5 amendment procedure, and then that's doing the statewide. Each state getting the 50 together in a majority. It's called the 37 rule, and you need to have officially 37 out of the 50 states go forward, and they can change the federal constitution so that they can show you a whole lot. But when you get up to the higher levels on things, when you're trying to affect federal government, it's impossible in Canada. Everyone will tell you that. That's why this is all bullshit anyway. But if you want to get the referendum done, $11 million. And I'll let you talk to Americans who are experts on this, who've done that. I can put that together. And again, going into the next stage of the affecting the federal government or getting an amendment to make something realistic is impossible in Canada. Is absolutely entirely impossible in Canada. I've already been through this long ago. Doesn't matter what bullshit laws Daniel Smith brings forward. She can't change the federal system. She can't change the Treaty Indian system either. And she's bound to the Treaty Indians. That's in the Executive Powers Act of Alberta. And Daniel Smith doesn't want to write a constitution because she doesn't want to give up her power. None of them do. I'm not picking on Daniel Smith here. I just hate because she's the biggest liar. And that's what bugs me.
Hi there. Welcome to Tim Hortons. What can I get for you?
Hi, can I get an extra large double?
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's $2.47.
And that's the reality of it, folks. So if folks want to do that, if Jonathan's into that, I will do a space for sure. I'll make it this Sunday. I won't miss it. And I should have my body restored by then. But I will reach out to Marcus. I'll reach out to Americans, and we can go through that with everybody. And then we can start, because we have to start myth busting the bullshit of the crown here. That I know everybody in their heart of hearts wants to end. I get that. But I want people to understand what's viable and what's not. What's real and what isn't. And to understand that. So I would love to go through that process to show everybody and why I left it all behind. Even before this Sovereignty Act bullshit or this new act for referendum she's got, it is all stage acting of a crown autocratic dictator. And I know what the Alberta separatists are thinking. I know what the Republican Party is thinking, but folks, and 51st State Party of Alberta, but folks, it's what you can do in your country and your laws that you have to understand. And it's better to get people who do that in their countries and effectually do that and get them to explain it to you, because I can talk to them blue in the face, but no one's going to listen. And I don't like seeing people getting taken advantage of. And it's why I went with the international system. And it's now why I effectually go for Canada, the 51st state, because we've already survived the presidential veto. It's done. And the man's got a majority Congress and Senate. We are more likely to get that than anything else. So that's my video, everybody. Share, get it out there. I'll talk to Jonathan. I'll talk to Marcus. And then we'll see if these other separatist leaders want to get together. If Benjamin would to participate, if Peter would, I'm sure they would. It's just the other two leaders, I'm not sure. Thank you. And I think I know Ron Robertson, actually, if it's the same one. Okay, God bless everybody. Bye now. Share. Get it out there. See you later.